Never heard of pork brisket before, neither have I, until recently, and that's when I knew I had to go get some and smoke it. So let me show you how I do it. Let's go. So I've seen some rumblings of pork brisket going on social media and around some friends in the barbecue world. And I saw Phil Wingle from Pork Mafia post about Mangalitsa Farms pork brisket. So I went and I looked it up and I ordered a couple. I have to try this pork brisket. Now look at this thing. This thing is gorgeous, well marbled, beautiful color. Take a look at both sides here. Now, I've never cooked one of these before. I'm gonna run this just like a normal beef brisket. I'm gonna cook it till I get a nice bark on there, wrap it, let it go to about 195, let it rest, slice it. But let's take a quick look at this first, see what we're dealing with here. This is about 3.5 pounds, so it's significantly smaller than a beef brisket, which is obvious because cows are massive, pigs not so much. So looking at this guy, we don't have a lot to trim here. They did a good job, but it looks just like a small version of a beef brisket. You can see the fat seam here, which is gonna separate the point from the flat. And I'm feeling this fat here, and it's not a very hard fat. So I think I'm gonna leave most of this on, not really trim it, just to see what it comes out like. Maybe some of these nubbins we'll take off here. Yeah, just kind of round up these edges. Other than that, this thing's looking really, really good to go. So I'm gonna season this up just like a normal brisket. We're gonna use some Diamond Crystal Kosher Salt. Make sure you hit all the sides. Gonna use some 16 mesh black pepper. I get this from Pork Mafia and it's the best pepper I've ever had. Again, get all the sides. Now that's a great base layer. Now's where you can really experiment and add your favorite rubs. One of my favorite rubs to throw on top of a brisket after doing the salt and pepper is Pork Mafia's Texas Gold. So we're gonna hit that as well. Give just a dusting over the top. And this is gonna add a lot of flavor to it as well. Now we're gonna flip it over. Now I did the meat side first, the side that exposes more of the meat, because I always like to have the fat cap on top. That way when you slice it, your presentation shows that fat cap. I'm not sure if this is gonna cook the same way as a beef brisket. We're gonna find out. Now we're gonna season the back side the same way, the fat side the same way. And then some Texas Gold over the top. So we got this all seasoned up and we got our big smoker running today, because I'm cooking some brisket and a pork butt as well. So this is gonna be a perfect time to throw this guy on there. We're running somewhere around 250 degrees on the offset smoker. We're running with oak wood. So I'm gonna get this on there and we're just gonna let this roll. Again, we're gonna let it go till we get a nice bark on there, wrap it, let it rest. Let's go get this on the grill. Made some room on the big guy, so let's get this on. Now we're gonna be cooking this just like a normal beef brisket. Get that nice and shaped up there. We're gonna put the fattier end, the point end, more towards the heat. I'm gonna stick a temp probe in the flat side here, just so we can keep a temp gauge running on it. Close her up, and now we let it roll, see how it comes out. Gonna check it maybe in about an hour, see how it's looking, see if it needs a spritz. So let's keep it shut down, and we'll be back about an hour or so. About an hour and a half in, haven't checked it yet. Let's go take a look, see how it's doing. If we need a spritz, we're gonna spritz everything down in there. Let's go look. It's looking great. Starting to form a nice little bark on here. Definitely looks like it could use a spritz here. So we're gonna hit it with some water. Spritz with water, we're reading at about 129 internal. Again, it's been roughly an hour and a half. We're gonna let it keep rolling. When it hits that 160, 170 mark, that's when I assume I'm gonna wrap it and then let it come up the rest of the way in internal temperature. So we gotta shut down. We're just gonna let it roll and we'll be back in a little bit. Pork brisket's looking great. We're tapping right around 180, so we're gonna pull it off and get it wrapped up. Let's go get it. Quick spritz. Oh, nice and tender. This fat is really rendering. Get her back on. Pork brisket's back on. Now we're just gonna let it run till it's probe tender, which I'm assuming is gonna be somewhere in that 190 to 200 range. So we're gonna come back when the thermometer's telling us it's in that range. We'll be back. Pork brisket is done. It has been resting for about an hour. Got up to an internal temperature of around 190 degrees and it was very probe tender. So we pull it out, let it rest for an hour. Total cook time was roughly 6 hours total. So 7 hours all in, including the rest time. Let's unwrap this, slice it, and see what it's all about. I'll tell you right off the bat, there's an amazing smell coming from this. I think this is gonna be real good. So typically, like I cut any kind of beef brisket, I usually start here, then take a slice off and check it out. Let's give this a slice. Oh yeah, look at that in there. Give a quick slice of here. This is coming from the flat end. Oh, look at how tender that is. Wow. So let's give this a try. You see that nice fat rendered in there. Oh, this looks great. Oh yeah. Smoky, tender, juicy. Wow, this is really, really good. It's pretty weird because you're expecting kind of a beefy flavor because it's a brisket and in your head it kind of looks that way. But when you get that good pork flavor, wow, this is pretty awesome. Oh yeah. This is looking great. Probably could have used a little bit more trim of the fat. But now we know. This is absolutely delicious. Must try if you could get your hands on a pork brisket. It's definitely worth a shot. They can be a little bit pricey, so maybe you want to shop around, check it out, but it's definitely really, really good. So there you have it, pork brisket on the offset smoker. Let me know what you think about this video. Please hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll be talking to you all soon. Make sure to check me out on social media. Cheers, everybody. Take care. Peace.